I have been a member of the Home Builders Association for over 30 years. And then over that 30 years, I've dealt with Ryle every year for over 30 years. They always, every year, give so much. You know, this is an event that has gone on for year to year to year. We have never failed or lost a single year. Even back in the many, many years ago when we weren't as well as we are now able to have the fundraising that we have to do this event, we used to have to all contribute and go around and take funds up and stuff to do it. But we've always done it. It's always been a event to get our Christmas kicked off as well as getting these kids' Christmas kicked off. The kids every year make an ornament. Some of them have their pictures on them, different things. I have so many ornaments from over the years from my wife and I doing this that I could decorate an entire Christmas tree with nothing but the Ryle kids' ornaments. So it's pretty amazing. Got a bunch of them.
Well, you know, they would call us and they would tell us, you know, what days we were going there, and at the beginning it was, let's see, Creedmoor. He would come down and visit with us and visit with me and the teachers and tell us what it was all about and things like that. And he would kind of give us a schedule of what to expect. And so then we'd just go up there and meet them at the Walmart or wherever, you know, they wanted to meet. So it was a good experience. It taught them to not be selfish. You know, they bought for their families, and it was just a real experience for them. They kind of look forward to it every year, and that was one day that we never had anybody ever miss. You know.
I just remember us going every year, you know, getting so excited, you know, the night before you couldn't sleep or anything because you knew you were going to get to go shop and go to Tulsa. You know, that was a big thing because a lot of us didn't go to Tulsa all the time. And just being able to spend money. I know that at that time we would go shopping and then go to Shotgun Sam's, which that used to be a big pizza place back then, and go and eat there, eat pizza and stuff and get presents. I know one year they gave us everybody a bike and it was personalized, had our name on there and everything. The girls got pink and white ones and the guys got black bikes. But yeah, I remember that, just going on that trip every year. It was, you know, definitely everybody loved going there, and you know, nobody missed that trip, and it was quite memorable for me.
But I remember going to like in the store and like with my teacher and going around, and we had our own shopping cart and like we got to pick our own toys, and it was just like a different experience when I think back. And I remember during that time it was when Pocahontas was big as well, so I remember getting this Pocahontas coloring book and crowns, and so that's what I remember from Home Builders.
Growing up in that area, a lot of families, for my part, my mother and father didn't graduate from high school, so you had a lot of them that were that way. And so the jobs that they had were very hard-working, you know, manual labor type of jobs, so they always had to sacrifice, and they would sacrifice for us. As we got older, we understood. We understood what they was doing and the things they would have to do for us to have a Christmas if we was going to have one. So as we got older, understanding that concept and understanding what they was doing for us was just huge, you know, and being able to come home and say, hey, look what I got you, you know, and didn't worry about wrapping up the present or anything, we just bringing it home and understanding at that time what it means to give and to put a smile on someone's face or let them know that someone's thinking about them.
It was like that, you know, like we never had pizza before or anything like that, you know, and you got up there and it was like, it was just so special. It just like everything was that much better.
At the bottom you have a
All the kids were together, you were there with your school friends and everything like that, and they were just, yeah, everything just felt like it was a lot better.
Well, when I think about home builders, the first thing that comes to my mind is just joy, happiness, feeling special. During that time, you have this, at this time we seen this, it was like a big company that would come down to a little old Ryle. It would pick us up, take us to, well, actually ride a bus, but they would, you know, when we was there, they would take care of everything that, take care of the whole bill as far as the food and the presents. And I always tell a story to my friends that one of my fondest memories is getting there, and there's a big stage. Of course, being kids, we didn't really pay attention to those types of things when we get there, because when they was gonna eat pizza, when they was gonna have some pop, there's some things that we hardly get, and then also some bags of goodies that they had for us every year. And we get there, and then halfway through the program, they said, okay, they take away all these tarps, and there's a bike. I tell the bike's there. And then find your bike, it's got your name on it. And it was just so awesome. And we get back to Raleigh, his big truck, and all the bikes are in there. And see all the kids go on with pink and white bikes for the girls and silver and black for the boys, you know. And then they bought all of our athletic gear for the year. Cleats, gloves, footballs, basketballs. But for someone to take time out for us, for a lot of us, that was only Christmas. I also tell a story that, and a lot of us did. We were so excited. You know, we take a shower that night, go to bed, but we put the clothes on that we were gonna wear the next day. No one missed school, and everyone was there early. You know, and it was just a great day for us. And every time I hear someone mention that, it puts a smile on my face, and then watch it on TV. I can just see it to those kids' eyes. And one thing that really touched my heart later as it went on, a lot of these kids, you would see them buying things for adults. And the people that were with them was asking, well, why are you getting this? Why are you getting that? Well, it's for my mom, or it's for my dad, or it's for my brother, for my sister. And they already had the concept, to me, which is the right concept at this time, is giving. Not necessarily receiving, but giving. And then give back to their families.
There's a lot of poverty in that area, and some people wouldn't be able to afford Christmases. And you know, some kids, you know, they shop for their families instead of, you know, spending the whole money on themselves. I think that really helped people, especially the kids there, to show that, you know, somebody is being generous to them. So, you know, I want to pay it forward to my own family, because, you know, a lot of kids didn't have Christmas on their own, and I think it definitely helped with them being able to celebrate a little bit of Christmas, no matter how small it was for them. You learn generosity more when you actually see somebody who's given their time, effort, and, you know, money to these kids, and I think that's helped me to develop more sense of how it affects the communities, how, you know, some kids are in poverty level and may not have anything or anything like that, and it's just made me realize more that how much I'm fortunate enough to be where I am versus, you know, other families in that areas.
The things that I do now, me and my friends was able to start a nonprofit organization, and now I'm part of a ministry that we do, and because of what they did, because of how they made me feel, how they made me feel special, and not looking at me as far as the things maybe I've done or things I've been through, but just seeing to say, hey, this is just individual, and I'm just going to do whatever I can so they can have a good day. Do whatever I can, again, to put a smile on their face, to make them feel special, make them feel significant. And the things I do now, that's what I love doing. I love to give. And, you know, we put on a lot of basketball tournaments, and one thing we do is a hospitality room. We feed people, sit down and be able to talk to them. And you just be amazed at anything. To us, it's just a small thing, but to them it's very big, as someone would think about it. So it's really influenced my life. And that's something that I teach my kids and people that I'm associated with. You know, if you can give, that's what you need to do. And now the good Lord has allowed me to be a pastor of a church. And one thing I always say is fulfill a need. Everyone always has a need in their life. It could be clothing, it could be food, it could be maybe helping them out with the bill or just buying them lunch, no matter what it is. But that spirit of giving, it's something that I wouldn't say has gone away, but nowadays it seems very uncommon, you know, and I want them to be able to do those types of things. Because again, you just never know, doing one little thing, what it can do for a person, especially for their attitude or maybe something going through that day. To me, it really helps.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
Thank you.
I tell you, if we had a room full of Ryle alum, that could be 10, 15, 20 years apart in the years that they attended. But if you said that one thing, if you said home builders, their faces would light up, and they would all have a special memory, something that happened in how this type of year, this time of year when it comes around, those thoughts and those memories, and then telling our kids again how blessed they are to be able to have that. You don't see that very often, you know. There was 5 of us in my family that attended Ryle, and it was awesome. We all got to go. We all got to go at the same time, and we'd all come back with gifts and things. And it was, and the one thing that I realize now that I didn't realize back then, it took a lot of stress off my mom and dad, because they knew now that we had something for Christmas, and it was like, yes, we got this for Christmas. So, you know, there were some of our friends that their parents were making pretty good money, so there was a couple of here or there that was going to have a real good Christmas. But that day we were all equal, if you know what I mean. That day we're all equal, we're all treated the same, and we all had the same, again, that joy and happiness coming from this one particular event, and that was just awesome. Again, because that day, no one was mad at each other, no one was arguing. It was just, hey, we're getting ready to go to Home Builders, jumping on that bus, and just, going to Tulsa, and to us, Tulsa seemed like, it was like a long ways away, and it was just, wow. To me, I thought, wow, that was the whole world when I was younger. You know, there's nothing bigger than Tulsa, you know. During this time, it's a special time just to be able to give. Even though you may not have a lot in your pocket, and there's some way to give. It could be just, again, going by checking on somebody. It could be maybe someone still back in our area, they still use wood stoves. Hey, go buy them a rick of wood. I don't know, something. You'd be amazed one little thing what it would do during this time. And because, and the one thing I encourage you to do that is because our kids watch us. Our kids watch what we do. And that's a good thing to pass on, generosity and caring about other people. And not only to do it during this time, but through the whole year. It doesn't have to be just Christmas to be able to have the heart to give. Do it the whole year and see what happens. It changes a lot of atmospheres. It changes a lot of people's mentality. So that's the one thing I would pass on, and to thank them, the Home Builders Association and the family of Mr. Creekmore, because they gave me a lot of good memories and helped me to develop a heart that I have now.
Yes, I would also like to thank Home Builders for continuing this tradition for our Ryle students. You know, yes, it has made a lasting impact on me and my kids, my family, other family members who have attended Ryle. And, you know, I just really appreciate the generosity they've shown to our students.
Thank you, Home Builders, for providing that memorable experience. I think it was like either in 95, 96 that I experienced that, and I still remember it to this day, like over 20 years later. And just a shout out, to Mr. Hicks. He was the superintendent or principal when I was there. And then I remember my first grade teacher, Mrs. Jamie Smith, and she's made a lasting impact on me.